This module is related to the financial globalization and its prevailing status, that how things are going on now, because now the time when the Bretton Woods setup has been over, and this is the post Bretton Woods financial system in which we are living. So we need to understand how things are going on currently. You know that the volatility became most important issue nowadays. More fluctuations are going to observe, specifically in financial sector, which are more steep and sharp, and which is going to affect more with high intensity to the investors and businessmen. Therefore, they are concerned. The financial setups or financial stakeholders, they are quite concerned about it. Further, market disequilibria is the common thing. Most of the time it was considered that market will lead towards equilibrium automatically. So any kind of disequilibrium will be managed by the market forces, but it may not happen over the time. So it was also observed that it need to be adjusted through some external forces. Again, some kind of regulation or some kind of interference is required. Information asymmetric, it has been observed. Again, exchange rate overshooting, excessively high exchange rate or excessive depreciation of the exchange rate. Specifically, you can observe just like when our government is going to release some kind of control, then that may happen, just like recently in Pakistan it happened. And sharp correction and crisis. Sometimes government is going to change some financial variable with very sharp change. Suddenly increase it or suddenly decrease it in a significant manner. Secondly, crises are going to appear. Therefore, they are going to generate more asymmetric information. So that is going to reduce the trust on the financial system. Further, missing institutional regulatory framework is going to add more in that particular system, in mistrust or distrust on the financial setup, because these institutions and regulatory frameworks actually allow financial setups to maintain their trust over the people. But you know that improper and inadequate financial institutions, either they are not working properly, or if they are going to work properly, they are inadequate. They are not going to fulfill the needs of every stakeholder. And the systematic risk is going to happen as well. So they are going to affect, again, this financial setup. Secondly, if we observe the global financial architect, it was considered as a public good. Since global financial architect, the whole structure of the global finance, it is considered to be the public good. Therefore, everyone need to be concerned about it, or people jointly, communities jointly, countries jointly do something for its welfare or growth. So needs collective plan to reforms financial system that was required with the objective to harness the potential of private global financial flows, and they will lead towards more stability and more growth in the global economy. So that is the basic objective that need to be achieved by the mutual effort. So major role is played or can be played by G7 or G20s, which are those countries, they are quite developed countries and they are quite high income countries. Therefore, they have more, you can say they are more in that particular position that they can manage, they can control, they can create pressure over the global communities to make things more in order by managing the financial system. So global community pressure may be generated, social impact of crisis can be highlighted by these countries. Domestic reforms, specifically robust national policies need to be designed. So there they can provide the guidance. How to execute reforms, what kind of reforms are needed, and what are the ways to ensure that reforms are going to be implanted. So plans, whatever plans are going to be suggested by these economies even, or their researchers or their policymakers, these may have the contradictions. And these contradictions are just like, some says that it should be further liberalized, financial sector need to be liberalized more and more. Some other says no, it need to be controlled more, because now it is going to beyond its limits, or it is becoming out of control, so it needs some control. On the other side, some of the people are, or some of the countries or researchers, they are highlighting that exchange rate need to be more flexible, and some others say no, it should be a bit more fixed and more stable, so that the investors and businessmen, they are sure about the future rate of returns. to ensure that business and investment is going to smooth down. Some others believe that community resolve need to be arrived. On the other side, some others says no, a market resolve is required because market forces are by themselves making things more efficient. Therefore, if we are depending upon market forces, they will ensure the solution for all kind of problems which global financial system is going to face. But those who are following the community resolve, they believe that since it is a public good, therefore we have to do something to make it better. So suggested reforms are considered with 4 pillars that is suggested by Professor Barry Eichengreen, University of California, and these are the suggestions which can be implemented. First pillar is related to the international standards. There should be some international standards which need to be followed by every country. So automatically standards are properly followed, then discipline is going to be maintained. Second pillar, market friendly taxes on short term capital flows. Capital flows, specifically if it is short term, it is going to create disruption in the financial setup. Therefore, some kind of taxes are going to restrict that. To an extent, it is going to control short term financial flows. Long term financial flows need not to be controlled. Third pillar is related to the exchange rate flexibility. More flexible exchange rate should be there so that economies can adjust their balance of payment and they can support their any kind of deficit or any kind of problem, financial problem they are facing. Fourth pillar is related to the alternate to the bailout provided by the IMF, because you know that the loan burden is going to increase on the developing economies and they are actually more in trouble whenever they are getting bailouts from the IMF, and then they are not capable to pay it back properly or on time, so they are facing more troubles. So some kind of collective action clause should be there in which mutually collectively some people or some countries may provide some kind of financial support to those economies which are passing through different kind of crisis. So this whole will lead towards a contemporary global financial system which may be better as compared to what we are observing now.